Why do Disney's villains keep stealing the show? Today we're exploring how Cruella proves that Disney's villains get all the fun, freedom, and complexity, while their princesses fall flat. Disney's 2021 film Cruella follows young Estella Miller, a creative outsider with distinctive black and white hair, as she navigates 1970s London's cutthroat fashion world. After discovering that fashion icon Baroness von Hellman was responsible for her mother's death, Estella transforms into Cruella, a bold, rebellious designer who challenges the Baroness through increasingly theatrical fashion statements. The film reimagines the 101 Dalmatians villain as a complex anti-heroine, driven by ambition, revenge, and creative vision. When Disney announced a Cruella origin story, the concept seemed absurd. How do you make a puppy-killing villain sympathetic? But that's exactly the point. Villains like Cruella and Maleficent arrive with something princesses don't: permission to be reimagined. Emma Stone's Cruella isn't trying to match a cartoon from 1961. She's creating something entirely new. The punk rock aesthetic, the 1970s London setting, the rivalry with Emma Thompson's Baroness, none of this existed in the original film. Disney gave the creative team freedom to explore who Cruella could be, not who she had to be. This freedom extends to the actors themselves. Stone brings her own interpretation to the role, leaning into dark comedy and theatrical flair without worrying about matching someone else's performance. The same goes for Angelina Jolie's Maleficent, who transformed a one-dimensional villain into a tragic figure betrayed by someone she trusted. These performances work because the actors aren't imitating, they're building. The visual design reflects this creative liberty too. Cruella's wardrobe feels like wearable art, each outfit making a statement about power, rebellion, or transformation. The film's aesthetic is deliberately stylized, from the dramatic lighting to the needle drops of classic rock songs. When villains get their own movies, Disney lets filmmakers take risks with tone and style that princess films rarely attempt. Princesses face a different challenge entirely. They must look, sound, and behave like their animated counterparts to satisfy generational nostalgia. When Halle Bailey was cast as Ariel, the conversation wasn't about her remarkable voice. It was about whether she matched the cartoon princess fans grew up with. This burden extends beyond appearance. Princesses are designed around optimism, kindness, and purity, traits that can feel restrictive on screen. Belle must still love books. Cinderella must still be gracious despite mistreatment. Translating their goodness into live action often results in performances that feel careful rather than captivating. The expectations are impossible to satisfy. Fans want princesses updated for modern sensibilities, but also faithful to the originals. They want them feminist, but not too different. Villains, meanwhile, just need to be interesting, a far easier bar to clear. Watch Emma Stone in Cruella and you'll see an actor fully unleashed. She's theatrical, unpredictable, sometimes unlikable, and absolutely magnetic. The film lets her be messy, ambitious, even cruel, because villains are allowed complexity that heroines often aren't. Cruella lies, manipulates, and mistreats her friends in pursuit of revenge. She's hypomanic, driven, obsessed. These traits make her fascinating to watch, even when they make her difficult to root for. Princesses rarely get this range. They can be brave or clever, but they can't be selfish or destructive without the entire narrative punishing them for it. They exist to be aspirational role models, which means they're held to standards villains gleefully ignore. Cruella can set herself on fire at a fashion gala for shock value. Can you imagine Disney letting a princess character do the same? The difference shows in audience reception too. Viewers celebrate Cruella's boldness, her refusal to play nice, her determination to succeed on her own terms. They relate to her struggles in a competitive industry, her financial stress, her complicated feelings about identity and power. She feels like a real person navigating real obstacles, even if her solutions are extreme. Princesses, constrained by their roles as moral exemplars, often feel more like ideas than individuals. Part of what makes Cruella work is its commitment to spectacle over conventional storytelling. The fashion shows are mini-movies within the movie, each designed to upstage the Baroness and announce Cruella's arrival. Villains don't need redemption arcs or conventional happy endings, they need memorable moments. The irony is that modern audiences often find villains more empowering than princesses. Women relate to Cruella's ambition, her refusal to make herself smaller, her determination to succeed in a field that undervalues her. At its core, Cruella is about reinvention. Estella choosing to become Cruella, to embrace the parts of herself that were always deemed too much. The film celebrates how she uses fashion and spectacle to claim power in a world that tried to diminish her. These characters feel like they have agency in ways that Waiting for True Love's kiss simply doesn't. Cruella proves that rebellion can be beautiful beautiful, especially when it's dressed in couture, and that sometimes the most compelling stories are about complicated people navigating impossible circumstances with style, determination, and just a little bit of madness. This is Ladies First Watching Women in Movies. Here we empower women by reviewing and discussing films that highlight their stories, struggles, and achievements. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments.